Let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in and exhale. So now if you'd like to, opening your eyes, or you can leave them shut, it's up to you, or slowly, shake our head, yes. Yes, I am here. And then gently shake it, no. And let's hold it still. Now we'll do some shoulder circles. So shrugging our shoulders and then bringing them back. And as we do this, noticing how it feels to bring our shoulder blades together. So we open up the front of our body. Let's go the opposite direction. Okay, let's hold it still here. So we're going to take a deep breath, reaching arms up. So starting to warm up our spine here. Exhale over to the right. We can drop our right hand and really stretch out the left side of our torso, opening up there. Inhale our arms up. And exhale to the left. Inhale, arms up. And exhale with a slight twist to the right. Drop our right hand. Notice how it feels to breathe in a twist. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, left. Inhaling up. And then exhaling your arms behind your back, clasp your hands and pull your hands up towards the sky. And if you want, you can hinge forward from your hips. Really lengthening your spine as you go forward. Try not to round. Come back up, inhale your arms up. Clasp your hands together and now press them forward. And now if you want to, you can round your back out. And release. Let's bring the soles of our feet together for a gentle butterfly. Starting to open up our hips a bit. And if you want to, you can hinge forward from your hips. And trying to lead with your chest. So try not to round out your back. Nice and long spine here. And let's come back up. So now extend our right leg out. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, and just pause here. Notice how this feels maybe in your right inner thigh. A little lengthening there. Let's bring that leg in, and now take the left leg out. And let's bring that leg in. We're going to come onto all fours now to our tabletop. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And as always, whenever we're on our hands like this, if we have any issues in our wrists or in our arms, or rather our shoulders, we can always bring it down onto our forearms. And I will try to remind you throughout. So now we'll do our cat-cow. So inhaling, looking up and pulling our tailbone up, arching our back. And then exhaling down, curling our back, rounding it out. So let's inhale up into cow pose. Exhale down into cat. So continue this now, following your own breath. Noticing how this feels along your back muscles. Let's do 2 more breath cycles. And by the way, not only is this really good for your back, it's also really good for your digestive system. If you ever have stomach aches, try this. Okay, let's pause here in tabletop. We're going to come into our spinal balance. So now bringing our right arm up and our left leg, opposite arm to leg. Let's bring it down, left arm, right leg. And we're doing this looking at the mat. So we're keeping our neck neutral. Switch. Again, this can always be done on forearms. If this challenges our wrists or shoulders too much. Bring it down. So now we're going to do this with our breath. So inhale up. Exhale down. So follow your own breath here. And noticing all the little subtle feelings along your core as you do this. How's it feel in your back, glutes, hamstrings, quads, shoulders? How's your balance? Do 1 more on each side. So from here, we'll do our poga hydrants. So raising your right leg with the knee bent. We'll then do wide circles, keeping our abs engaged here, breathing, opening up our hip. And then let's go the opposite direction, same leg. Let's bring that down, and now we'll go to the left leg up. So you can even play around with it, doing smaller circles and then going wider and wider. Opposite direction. Let's bring it down. We'll shift our hips over to the right and look over our left arm. And back to center and go the other way. So notice how this feels in your lower back, your glutes. And we'll come back to the center. So here we'll move into our mini flow. So we're going to walk our hands forward. So if you notice here, you're in your high plank on your knees. Your knees are behind your hips as opposed to under. So now we transfer the power into our upper body. Our shoulders are working, upper back. We're breathing. And then we're going to bend our elbows just to where our ribs are, and keep them in by our sides. Low plank, and then all the way to the mat. Now we'll press into the tops of our feet, rotate our quads outward, engaging our glutes, our lower back. Lengthening our spine, we'll bring our chest up into cobra. And then push up and sit back on our heels, extending arms forward into child's pose. So now we'll do that 2 more times, moving with our breaths, making it into a flow. So as we inhale up and forward, we're high plank on our knees. Exhale, bending your elbows all the way to the floor. Inhale, cobra, chest up. And then exhale, push up and sit back in child's pose. And we'll do that 1 more time. So inhale, up and forward, high plank. Exhale, slowly low plank to the mat. Inhale your chest up into cobra. And exhale, up and back into child's pose. Now let's pause in child's pose for a few breaths. So sit back there, extending your arms forward, noticing any lengthening, your upper back, your chest. Perhaps placing your forehead on the mat. Breathing deeply. And 1 more breath here. And slowly making your way up onto all fours. You might shift your knees in a little more so they're underneath your sit bones. So from here, we'll curl our toes under. So pause there, notice the stretching going on in your feet. Toes, the metatarsal area by the pad of the feet, arches, just pause there. And then we're going to put some weight into our feet and bring our knees off the mat for a moment. Noticing the lengthening going on down by our Achilles. And then let's bring our hips up toward the sky and toward downward dog. So inverted V. Okay, so let's walk our dog out, bending 1 knee at a time. Still breathing. Okay, let's pause here in our downward dog. And then bend both knees. So once again, our shins are parallel with the floor. Knees are not on the mat. And then let's walk our feet forward, coming into forward fold and keeping our knees soft, bent, whatever we need to do right now to support our back. Pause here. Notice the sensation of the blood coming to our head, giving us oxygen. Bring our hands to our elbows and gently sway our upper body. Once again, tuning into our breath as we move. Okay, let's hold it still here. Release our hands to the mat. And then bring our awareness to the 4 points of each foot. Big toe mound, baby toe mound, and then each side of the heel, left and right. So really grounding that, feeling it connect with the mat, with the earth. And then without moving our feet, we'll move our heels away from each other energetically, feeling now all the power through our legs. And as we hold that, let's bring our hands to our shins or to our thighs in half lift. Pause there, still pushing our heels away from each other without actually moving them. down into forward fold. And then coming all the way up slowly with a reverse swan dive. So lengthening our spine as we come up. To reach up. And then extend back with a slight back bend, opening up our heart. Come back up. We're going to separate our feet so they're about mat width apart or so. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale, bending down into a little bit of a squat, and then inhaling back up. Exhale down. So do a few of these following your own breath. So inhaling up, pressing through your feet and legs, exhaling down. We'll do one more up and then pause at the bottom. We'll squat. Pause. And then let's place our hands down, step one foot back, then the other into high plank. We can always, for plank, for our class, want to make sure that this is supporting our body if we need to bring our knees to the mat, or even bring it onto our forearms. It's totally up to us. Remember, choice. Okay, so from here, without moving our hands or feet, we'll bring our hips up into downward dog. Press our sit bones up to the sky, feeling our spine lengthening. And then bend both knees. Slowly walk your feet forward into forward fold. So we're going to do a flow here, sun salutation. So let's see if we can move with our breath. So we'll inhale to our half lift, bring our hands to our shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, pressing through your feet. Exhale through heart center into forward fold. Inhale, step your left foot back, then your right into high plank. Bring knees down. Shifting forward a couple of inches. Exhale, bend your elbows, come all the way to the mat. Inhale your chest up into cobra. And then exhale, come through the knees, tabletop, and into downward dog. That was a flow. Let's do that one more time. Bend both knees. Walk your feet forward into forward fold. So inhale to your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, pressing through your feet. Exhale through heart center, down into forward fold. Inhale, step your feet back into high plank. Shift forward, bend your elbows into low plank as you exhale to the mat. Inhale your chest up. And exhale through your knees and into downward dog. Come forward into high plank now. So from here, we're going to bring it onto our forearms. So forearm plank, I know everybody's favorite. And remember, this is an opportunity to practice the intention that we set today for choice. So here, choice can be noticing our form, noticing, you know what? Maybe I'm better off placing my knees on the floor today. That is choice. You can also come all the way down if your body's saying, you know what, today I really need to rest. I don't need to be doing this right now. Choose to focus on your breath. You know, if you're like, I really want to power through this. I can do anything for 2 breaths because that's what we've got left. Okay, so at this point you can choose to either bring it all the way to the mat or place your right hand down under your shoulder and then your left hand, so coming back into high plank. Here again, you can bring your knees down if you prefer. And then just to even it out, let's take it back onto our forearms. 2 breaths here. And then place your left hand, then your right, coming up to high plank. And then we're going to shift forward, bend the elbows all the way to the mat. Bring your arms alongside your body. Take a couple of breaths here. Let's bring our hands over by our ribs. So once again, we're pressing the tops of our feet into the mat. We're rotating our quads outward, engaging our glutes, lower back, and then we'll lengthen our spine, raising our chest off the mat into cobra, keeping that neutral neck. And then it's like we're pressing our hands back toward our feet. So really engaging our back muscles here. And of course, we're breathing. And release. All right, let's do that again. One more time. Pressing the tops of our feet into the mat, rotating our quads outward, facing forward, lengthening our spine, engaging our back as we raise our chest. Our hands are energetically pressing toward our feet, engaging all of the back muscles. Breathing. All right, now let's press up through our hands into seal. And come back into child's pose. So sitting back on our heels, extending arms forward. If you want to, you can do some hip circles, rock your hips. Breathing, noticing how it feels to lengthen out, relax your back now. Okay, let's slowly come forward, back onto our forearms. So back into forearm plank. And if you want to, again, bringing your knees to the mat. Okay, so from here, if you would like to, bring your right hand down, then your left up into high plank. Then we're going to do it, same thing on the other side. So back onto forearms, left hand, then right hand. And then bring your hips up into downward dog. Let's take our right leg up to the ceiling, lengthening through our hip, reaching that leg up. And we'll bring it forward, so placing our right foot between our hands into a low lunge. And then if we look back at our left foot, we're going to replace the ball of the foot, or the, what do you call it, toe pad, with our heel. So we're placing our foot flat. And then reaching forward, bring our torso up, making our winner arms, because we just crossed the finish line. To reach up and extend back. Breathe into it. And come back up, reach back down, coming back into our low lunge. Step our right foot back to meet the left into high plank. And then from here, we can either do modified side plank or full side plank. So we're turning to the right, raising our right arm, stacking our legs, or dropping our left knee and extending the right leg out. If we choose to do it that way, we can always raise our right leg if we want to intensify the balance. Again, always choice. Breathing. And then let's turn it back over into high plank, on our knees or not. And then if we'd like to shift forward, bend our elbows down to low, back up to high plank. So yes, a push up and downward dog. Couple breaths here. Hopefully you feel like we're warming up here. And now let's take our left leg up. And bring it forward, placing our left foot between our hands in a low lunge. Looking back at our right foot to replace the toe pad with the heel. And then reach your arms forward, coming up into warrior one, or winter arms, extending back. Back up, reaching forward and down, turning our back foot into a lunge, bringing our left foot back to meet it into high plank. And then from here again, either side plank to the left or lower your right knee. Raise your left leg if you want. Breathe. Okay, let's lower that arm coming into high plank. And again, that optional shift forward, low plank, high plank, downward dog. All right, couple breaths here. Okay, let's bend both knees. Walk our feet forward into forward fold. Okay, let's bend both knees, really sitting back. You guys know what's coming. We're gonna reach our arms forward and bring it up into fierce pose. Okay, breathing. Let's bring our palms together. And then twist over to the right. If you want to, opening your arms, deep breaths. Let's look down at our knees for a moment and bring them back into alignment if they had shifted where one was in front of the other. Deep breaths here. Every time we exhale, we're detoxing. Okay, let's come through the center and go to the left. Opening your arms if you want, deep breaths again. Back to the center and into forward fold. Pause here for a couple moments. Remember, whenever we're in forward fold, notice how your back feels. Bend your knees as much as you need to support your back. Let's walk our feet out. So they're a little bit more than hip width apart. And then let's bend our knees coming down into a squat. Just like we did at the beginning of class, we bring our palms together. And when we're in a squat, we want to have our heels on the floor. So we might need to move our feet further away from each other in order to do that. Notice the opening going on in your hip area. And then pressing through our heels, we'll come about halfway up. And then slowly come all the way up, really pressing through your legs. Let's come back down slowly. Again, pressing. So I'm feeling the power all along your legs, glutes. If your inner thighs are sore tomorrow, you can thank yourself for your effort at this one. Do 2 more. Focus on your breathing too. Let's pause at the bottom here. Pause. And now slowly come and pause at about halfway. Notice the power in your legs here. Let's slowly come up a little bit. Pause. And then slowly come all the way up. Take a deep breath. Reach your arms up. And exhale forward. Pause down here. Let the blood come back to your head. You can even shift your hips around. Notice how that feels, maybe in your lower back. Nice little stretching there. Let's walk our feet back together so we're in forward fold. And then slowly reverse one, diving all the way up. Get back a little. All right, so let's take a deep breath here. And then exhale our right arm under our left, wrapping our forearms and bringing our palms together. We're going to bring our elbows up in line with our shoulders. If this is not working for our body, we're all built differently, we can always just hug ourselves. Okay. So from here, we're going to bend our knees and pause there. Notice how that feels in your shins, in your Achilles, calves. So you can leave it there or turn it into a balanced pose, bring it into eagle bite. Picking a spot to focus your gaze on, and then wrapping your right thigh around your left. Squeezing together. Creating that balance through the midline, bringing it all to the middle. Breathing. And release. Shake it out if you need to. All right, let's take another deep breath. Reach your arms up. And then exhale your left arm under your right. Wrapping your forearms or bringing your hands to your shoulders and giving yourselves a hug. Let's bend our knees. So we can pause there and hang out there. Or we can pick a spot to focus on and now wrap our left leg around our right into eagle. Breathing. And release. Shake it out if you need to. All right, let's take a deep breath now. Reach arms up. Exhale down into forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your feet back into high plank. Shift forward, exhale, low plank, and then either to the mat or onto the tops of your feet, either cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to bend both knees. Walk feet forward into forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back into high plank. Shift forward, exhale all the way to the mat or pause in low plank. And then inhale, cobra or upward dog. And then exhale through the knees or straight into downward dog. Let's take our right leg up. And bring it forward into a lunge again. So placing our right foot between our hands, Remember with a lunge, we always want to have that 90-degree angle here with our knees, so our knees tracking over our heel, which is on the floor. So we're going to rotate to the right. We can always drop our back knee for this, by the way, or keep it up. So rotating into the front leg. A few breaths here. As always, be mindful, especially the exhale. Okay, let's bring our right hand down. We'll come onto our back knee. Bring our body up, palms together. Point our fingers up. Lengthen up and back into a slight back bend. Noticing how this feels in your left hip and thigh. And back up. Let's extend our front leg now. Bring our heart toward it, hinging from our hip. And perhaps noticing how this feels in your hamstring, your lower back. This one always reminds me to focus on choosing not to force the stretch. Some of us might be super flexible and things come easily like this and other shapes, but it's a really good reminder that just because we can doesn't mean we should. A lot of injuries in yoga happen because we're super flexible and push it. That would not be one of my problems, by the way. All right, let's bring it back down onto that foot. We're going to move our foot out to the outside of our mat and bring our hands to the inside of our foot. And just pause here, noticing hopefully how good this feels. How does this feel in your hip area, groin? Okay, so you can stay up there. You can see how it feels to come onto your forearms. You can leave your back knee on the mat or curl your toes under and raise your left knee off the mat. And if you do so, press into your front foot, distributing the balance more equally, make it more stable. Toggle between the two. Yeah, let's bring our body up now. Shift our right leg so it's folded in front of us. Left leg extended out, so we're going to come into pigeon here. Make sure your balance is centered, that you're not collapsing into your right cheek. And then if it feels good, see how it feels to come forward. Notice what's going on in your glute, your lower back, your hip area, hamstring, IT band, the area where we usually, if we tend to get sciatic pain. This is a really helpful shape. Take a few breaths here. All right, we're going to slowly come up. I know, reluctantly bring your right leg back into tabletop. Curl your toes under and bring your hips up into downward dog. Let's take our left leg up. And then bring it forward, placing your left foot between your hands in a lunge. You can leave your knee up there, your right knee, or you can drop it. And then we're going to twist to the left. Deep breaths here. And let's lower that arm, come onto our back knee. Bring your palms together, point your fingers up, stretching up and back. Come back up. Extend your left leg now. Bring your heart toward your thigh. Breathing into it. You keep your left knee as soft or as bent as you'd like. Let's come onto the left foot. Scooch it out to the left side of the mat and bring your hands to the inside of your foot. Pause up here, noticing how this feels. Perhaps choosing to come onto your forearms. If you have a block at home, by the way, you can always use a block here. And just like on the other side, if you want to, you can toggle between being on the mat or raising the right knee. Just see how that feels. Now let's bring it up and shift our left leg into pigeon. So folding it in front of us, balance is centered, and then relaxing forward. Focusing on the sensations in our body in this shape. If you find your mind starts to wander, you can always shift something in the shape. Maybe bring your leg, your left foot forward toward the front of the mat. That'll re-engage you. And slowly come up now. And then we'll bring our back leg around. Let's place both feet flat. Reach your arms forward. Come back just to engage your abs for a moment. Breathe. And then bring your arms down so you're on your forearms. Like you're hanging out at the beach. If only. Okay, so from here, we're gonna do one more shoulder power move. So we're gonna extend our legs out. And then bring our hips, or rather our butt, off the floor. So we're bringing our hips up, our butt off the floor, even if it's just a millimeter. Pause here, breathe. And release. Isn't that fun? All right, so we're going to now come all the way to the floor, bring our feet to the mat, and then place our hands underneath our lower back. So supporting our back here, or really underneath our sit bones. And then we're gonna bring our legs up toward the ceiling. So our feet are flexed toward the ceiling. And then let's bring them down about 30 degrees and pause. Notice if we're breathing, we want to breathe. Let's bring them down, I don't know, another 30 degrees. Pause. Breathe. And then bring your feet to about 2 inches off the floor. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourselves a hug because you are freaking amazing. And roll around a bit on your back if that feels good. Yeah, let's bring our feet to the mat, raise our hips up to the ceiling, into our bridge pose, our final power move. Okay, so we're gonna bring our shoulder blades closer together. That allows us to bring our hips up a little more. And then press your knees together as if you had something there you didn't want to let go of. You don't want it to drop to the floor. Feel the power now emanating from your quads, hamstrings, glutes, back. Breathe. And release. All right, let's bring our right foot onto our left thigh. This is the number 4 that you were telling me about, Anne. Now I get it. All right, let's bring our knees into our chest. And then if you want to, roll over onto your left elbow. Very slight move, and then bring your knees in a little bit more. Notice how that feels in your glute, hamstring area, hips. Breathe. Let's come back to the center and switch legs. Left foot onto right thigh. Bring them into your chest. And then come onto your right elbow. Bring your knees in a little more. And then let's continue down now. So we're going to bring our right knee onto the mat and our left leg comes over it. And then we can twist our upper body to the left. So bring our right hand toward, probably what mine's around my ribs right now. Left arm is extended out and I'm looking, my head is to the left. Couple breaths here. And now let's bring the legs over to the left. Left knee's on the mat, right knee slightly above the left knee. Right arm extended out, left hand on my ribs, and I'm looking to the right. Deep breaths. Let's come back to the center and bring the soles of our feet together. Releasing our knees to the mat. Just pause here. Notice how this feels in your hips. Perhaps focusing on bringing your lower back into the mat more. And then extend your legs out. Let's take a deep breath, reaching arms up toward the sky and then over our head, stretching everything, feeling every little bit of our body lengthening. Noticing how good this feels. Let's take another breath as we raise arms up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. We're coming into Shavasana. So making any movements you need to do to settle, to be a little bit more comfortable. Soften your forehead, cheekbones, jawbones. Releasing your upper back, lower back into the mat. The whole back of your body, relaxing it into the earth. Relaxing your feet, the fronts of your legs, torso. hands, arms, shoulders, your face, head. Feeling your entire body relax. Bring your awareness to your breath. Perhaps noticing how your body just knows when to breathe, how to breathe. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. By noticing how your body moves with it. As you inhale, your chest comes up. Perhaps your belly comes up. And then as you let go of what you don't need with your exhale, notice how it all comes back down. Over and over. April 1st, work of the worm. What the worm eats feeds the root. The story is told by a member of the Ojibwe tribe that the creator was having trouble keeping the world together. When a little worm said he could help, the creator paused, and the little worm spun its imperceptible silk, connecting all of creation with an unseeable web. The creator's gift to the worm was to let it live forever, allowing that when the little worm enclosed itself in the unseeable web, it would after a time emerge with the thinnest wings full of color as a butterfly. The story tells us that everything in creation is connected, and that what holds it all together comes from the humble work of living on earth. It tells us that the experience of eternity is possible if we immerse ourselves firsthand in the unseeable web of life. It tells us that if we still ourselves long enough within the web of all there is, we will eventually come to know the lightness of transformation. Humbly, like a little worm, it is in us to work our experience, our pain and frustration and confusion and wonder, into threads of silk. And freely, it is in our realm of choice to first connect everything with our experience, and then to make a cocoon of those connections. Finally, we can enter that cocoon of experiential connection, the way a Native American sweats in his lodge, the way a yogi holds his third eye, the way a monk maintains his vow of silence, until we emerge wearing our deepest colors for everyone to see. Amazingly, the universe is held together by the unseeable threads of our own experience. And our reward for keeping the web of connection alive is that our spirit emerges through what is personal into the center of all being. And so, by being who we are suddenly enlivened, however briefly, into the web of all creation. No matter how important we imagine others to be, it is each of us who holds things together in our small, humble way of working through the days with all that we have. This is the quiet miracle of spinning connection from our very humanness. this humble practice that no one can stop is the work of the worm. Mark Nepo in the Book of Awakening. Start to wiggle toes, your fingers. Make any small movements that feel natural as you come to a more wakeful consciousness. And then when you're ready, slowly making your way up into your easy pose with your legs crossed, sitting up nice and tall. Still with your eyes closed or gazing down at the floor, still focusing on sensations in your body, on your breath. Let's bring our palms together at heart center and take a moment to thank our body for showing up for us today, for reminding us of its strength, patience, miraculous resilience, power, and its beauty inside and out. And if we'd like to, continuing with this intention that we might have set for ourselves today about choice, we can continue that into the day off our mat. Just paying attention to our feelings, our thoughts, our choices throughout the day that might be as subtle as our attitude. What attitude are we choosing? Because even when we're not choosing, even when we're not making a decision, that in itself is a choice. And perhaps focusing on the reading about the worm. Perhaps what we're doing right now is we're each in our cocoon. And in that cocoon, we have the power of choice. What are we choosing? What are we choosing to focus on? Recognizing that what we focus on grows. So now let's take a deep breath. And then as we exhale, we can bow forward if we'd like. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Hang on, I'm gonna take off my mic so I can hear you all.